Christmas looms, but an eerie and decidedly non-festive mood haunts the snowy college town of Moscow, Idaho. Some residents request pepper spray or guns as Christmas gifts. Businesses close early. Few people walk alone, especially at night. More than a month after 4 local university students were inexplicably stabbed to death in the same home, the case remains unsolved, and the killer or killers at large. Police have named no suspect, found no murder weapon, and offered no motive. Moscow streets are uncomfortably empty, as are the classrooms of its largest employer, the University of Idaho. Many of the university's 11,000 students left town immediately after the murders. Others who left for Thanksgiving have pointedly declined to return. Moscow, a town of 25,000 near Idaho's border with Washington state, isn't accustomed to crime. Residents tend not to lock their doors. Until November, there hadn't been a homicide in 7 years. Now, the area feels like a garrison. FBI investigators and state troopers deployed to augment the 31-officer Moscow Police Department are looking for clues. They've taken thousands of photographs and done more than 150 interviews, police say. But so far the case has broadened, not narrowed. Although describing the attack as targeted, the Moscow Police Chief James Fry Jr. has been forced to concede the possibility of a larger danger. Quote, "We cannot say there is no threat to the community," he told reporters. Residents who normally live alone stay at friends' houses. They lock bedroom doors as well as exterior ones. A manager at Tri-State Outfitters, a local store, declined to tell The Guardian if gun sales have increased since the killings. Sporting goods and hardware stores in the area, though, confirmed that police detectives have visited to ask if they sold K-bar style military knives. Police have been flooded with more than 5,000 tips, many of which have been unfounded. Other tips, including one about a skinned corpse of a pet dog, were true, but police say unrelated to the killings. Internet sleuths have exacerbated wild rumours, Moscow Police Captain Roger Lanier recently said. The victims' families have since experienced harassment and received death threats. The Reddit forum Moscow Murders already has more than 78,000 members. It feels rather strange and kind of sad to be highlighted by this tragedy in our small town. Bailey Kidd, a 2019 graduate of the University of Idaho, told the Idaho Statesman, "You can tell everyone's on edge." If Moscow feels oddly quiet, no place feels quieter or sadder than a pale vinyl-sided house on King Road, not far from the frat and sorority houses of Greek Row. Until Sunday the 13th of November, the rented house had 5 occupants and was known for hosting parties. That Sunday, police responding to a report that someone was unresponsive found the dead bodies of Ethan, Kaylee, Xana and Maddie. Sometime in the night, a person or people murdered the 4 students, probably as they slept, with a large knife or edged instrument. There were no signs of forced entry. 2 other housemates, whom the police do not consider suspects, slept through everything. The county coroner, Kathy Mabbott, has said there is no evidence of murder-suicide or of sexual assault. She also said that some of the victims had defensive wounds, indicating that they woke and tried to fight back. Built against a hill, the King Road house has an eccentric 3-story design. The 2 surviving housemates slept on the 1st story. I have no idea who could have done this or why they could have done this to Kaylee. Kaylee's friend Jordan Quesnell told the New York Times. She and Kaylee were planning to move to Austin, Texas next year and were excited to see more of the world beyond their native Idaho. Kaylee of Rathdrum, Idaho, was friends with Maddie since the 6th grade. Maddie, a marketing student, was helping a local restaurant create a social media plan. She and Xana waitressed there. Xana, who was born in Idaho but raised in Arizona, was independent-minded. Her family has said she was positive, funny, and was loved by everyone who met her. Her sister, Jasmine Kernodle, told the New York Times, quote, "She made me such a proud big sister. and I wish I could have had more time with her. Ethan Chapin was a high school basketball player from Washington State. He was a triplet and had spent part of the Saturday before his death with his siblings, who are also students at the university. My kids are very thankful that it was time well spent with him. His mother Stacy told the Times. He made everybody laugh. He was just the kindest person. The victims were close-knit. The day before their deaths on Instagram, Kaylee posted a picture of all of them together. Their friends and families have no idea why a mundane Saturday night ended in such tragedy. I don't want people to make assumptions about our kids, Stacy told the Idaho Statesman. It wasn't drugs, and it was definitely not some passion thing between these kids. Someone entered the house. The Saturday started in an average way, with a University of Idaho football game always a big event in a college town. Chapin and Kernodle later went to a frat party, while Kaylee and Maddie visited a bar. All four returned to the house by 2 a.m. Once home, Kaylee and Maddie placed multiple phone calls to Kaylee's ex-boyfriend who lived nearby, Jack DeCour, but he did not pick up. DeCour has not been named as a person of interest, and Kaylee's family has said she often calls friends late at night. Her older sister Olivia has said she and her family stand behind Jack 100% and know he had absolutely nothing to do with this. On Sunday the 14th of November, a resident of the house apparently called friends over, concerned that another housemate was unresponsive. Only around noon did they call the police. Police arrived to discover people huddled around the house crying. Inside there was a lot of blood, the coroner has said. So much that a photograph of the house obtained by Fox News reportedly showed a trail of blood leaking from an exterior wall. News about the drift of the investigation has been sporadic. Police are looking into the information that some of Kaylee's friends had heard her speak of a stalker, but so far have not been able to verify it. Police have also examined information that someone with a knife threatened students on campus in September. Last week, police said they were looking for information about a white Hyundai Elantra that was seen near the victim's house around the time of their deaths. The car's occupants may have critical information, police said. They are also still processing DNA information from the crime scene. Analysing it all could take weeks or even months. Sent my daughter to college to get an education, Kaylee's father Steve said recently. She came back in a box. Okay, so this is a case I plan on covering in a lot more depth over the next week or so. So if you're interested in this case and you wish to learn more about the Idaho murders, please do hit the subscribe button below and give this video a thumbs up before you leave. As always, many thanks for joining me for this particular video. I look forward to seeing you all again for the next one. Take care. Cheers.